We are from Bajau Group. My name is Hanif. I'm going to do a little bit of intro, and then my crewmates, including me, going to tell you and bring you to explore the journey of Bajau ethnic. I got an article here. Tell you a little bit about Bajau people. Bajau ethnic in Malaysia is divided into two groups who have settled in the west coast and east coast of Sabah for the last several hundred years and beyond. Bajau people were the most largest indigenous ethnic, and also were the largest Bumiputra in Malaysia. On the west coast, they are known as Bajau Sama. They work as farmers, horse riders, and also Bajau Sama west coast people are known for their skill in horse riding. They are also doing machetes and hikers. They also breed vegetables and land activities. Are at the same time, the Bajau people in the east coast of Sabah, especially from Sempurna region, also get a special unique title that we call for many decades as a sea gypsies, Panglima de Laut, Sailor Boy, and also the greatest sea navigator. Bajau people can be divided into Bajau Sama, which is the one at the land, and they are located in the areas such as Tuaran, Kota Belud, and the small area that the Bajau Laut, sea gypsies, they reside in the areas such Berudu, Kudat, Pitas, Lahad Datu, and Sempurna. Sempurna is a very nice place. Bajau Sama from Kota Belud and Tuaran district is known throughout the world as an Eastern cowboy because of their great skill in riding horses. Additionally, they are also expert in manufacturing the samurai sword. Right. Alright, it says here, this has been passed through by the Japanese troops some time ago, very long time ago, I believe. So this Bajau Sama and Irano in Kota Belud, they produce a very high quality of samurai sword, and it's very unique that it attracts so much attention from the tourists. The Bajau Sama west coast is different from the Bajau at the eastern fringe, especially the Lahad Datu and Sempurna district. In terms of speech, additional attire, nutrition, customs, and cultural life, they are very different. A little bit. The Bajau Sama west coast community is involved in rice, paddy farming, while the Bajau Sempurna community is catching fish, seafood, not animal, just seafood.
Let's dive into the musical world of Bajau people. Bajau are well known for their traditional dances, songs, and percussion music. Some of Bajau traditional songs are usually sung during marriage celebrations that is then accompanied by a dance called Pangigal, and musical instruments such as pulau, which is the flute, gapang, which is the xylophone, tanggugo, which is the kulintang gongs, viola, which is the violin, and lastly the electronic keyboards that are used in modern times. One of the most famous and most played instrument played by the Bajau people is the kulintangan gong. A kulintangan gong is played during festive events and also religious ceremonies. It is usually a part of a bigger ensemble of gongs, and it is made up of 6 to 9 brass kettle gongs arranged horizontally on a wooden frame. The little gongs have different pitches which can produce fast tunes when it is hit by 2 wooden mallets. The lowest sounding gong is on the left and the highest sounding gong is on the right end of the kulintangan. Let's take a look at how the Bajau people played the kulintangan that is accompanied by a gong. Bajau traditional songs such as Isun Isun, Runsai, Najat, Syair, Buah-Buah Anak, and Tinggayu. Let's watch a performance of the song Runsai danced by the Bajau people during Sabah Festival. Collectively, some of Bajau love songs are referred as Sambayan. It includes Daling Daling, Tuldang Tuldang, and Pakiring Pakiring, which is the most well-known of these three love songs. And Pakiring Pakiring literally means moving the hips. That is the end of the Bajau musical journey. Unfortunately, most of the Samu Bajau folk songs are becoming extinct, largely due to the waning interest of the younger generation.
Let me introduce about the Bajau art. This dance is an entertainment dance at a special occasion, especially in weddings. Dance darling is accompanied by Shambai, which is a play songs by a singer or two singers. Traditionally, singers who convey a song are musicians. Musical instruments used are called gaps. Sometimes, musicians are assisted by another singer who are usually women, especially when the event is expected to take a long hours and sometimes overnight. Various Bajau tactics and crafts such as bengkuang mats and wood mats lacquer replace. The complete lepa replace is among the popular gift for tourists who witness the Bajau Cultural and Art Festival. Price from Malaysia Ringgit 500 and above.
So during the Regatta Lepa 2018, I took an article latest article. Sea Sport. So during the Regatta Lepa 2018, I took an article latest article. Sea Sport art events such as whole breath diving, dive, and boat racing. We can see that today is a very likely event, especially appearance of Lepa Unggul, which is the famous for its exterior decoration by the people of Semporna and the involvement of many people during the sea sport activities. The people can also see that every launch of Regatta Lepa is not just the people of Semporna itself, but it will be attended and visited by foreigners and tourists all around the globe. This is great for Regatta, where the more prominent feeling in terms of architecture and appearance of the culture plus tourism product could be export, could be introduced to the outside world and generate the socio-economy, the arts and handicraft. For example, the symbolized wood feature, the sculpting, home decorative stone boards, the carpets, and fashion accessories at the same time, the diversity. So I think I'm gonna demo you some simple what is called engraving. Okay, see, there's an embossment technique involved where they take out the part that they don't want to emboss and bring it out. That's all. Thank you.
Do you know about the Bajau language?
Hi, I'm Zee.
Hi, I'm Joshi.
We would like to talk about the Bajau language.
The Sama Bajau language are a well-established group of language spoken by the Bajau and Sama people of Philippines, Indonesia, and Malaysia. They are mainly spoken Borneo and Sulu archipelago between Borneo and Mindanao. The Sama Bajau people, they also speak some 10 languages of the Sama Bajau subgroup of the Western Malayo-Polynesian language family. Sinama also one of the common name for this language, but they are also called Bajau, especially in Malaysia. Most of the Bajau, they can speak more than 10 languages. There are Dayak, Malagasy, Palangigi, Central Sama, Pangutaran Sama, Mapun, Yakan, and also Southern Sama. That's all. for the language.
I also know about some language from Bajau. For example, where are you is Mainga. So, what is your name is Sayonu. And another one is I love you is how to pronounce is Alasa Aku Maka'a.
Alasan Maka.
Yeah. Another one is how are you is I Akbar. Yeah, that's all that I know how to pronounce.
There are many types of traditional food of Bajau people. The Bajau, which make up the second largest group in Sabah, has a no less impressive selection of delicious Sabah cuisine for you to try out. As a traditional seafaring people, their cuisine also reflects their lifestyle with its variety of traditional seafood dishes on offer. First is sagol. Sagol is also called siagol, is one of the traditional food in Sabah. Sagol is a word of the Bajau people language which means mix or mixture. This food often cooked using beef, fish, buntal, stingray and also shark. Generally fish has big heart, but now fishing is prohibited as between species of fish that are threatened with extinction. Residents of the east of coast Sabah, Bajau are extremely reliable in fisheries, and activities including cooking fish dish is also toxic, such as buntal. Ikan buntal should be handled by an experienced cook to get rid of the its poison in order to be safe to eat. Sago can also be cooked in two types of cuisine, that is sago clinic and also wet sago. The second one is lato. Lato is a given name sea grapes. It's a type of sea grape plants resemble small green size. Lato is possible in any market in Sabah, as also served any restaurant seafood in Sabah. A slightly salty taste with sambal, grilled fish and marine vegetation should be avoided from exposed to sunlight to that it does not wither. When the lato wither, it will no longer be palatable. The third one is putu. Putu in the east of part of Sabah, in Sepurna, the Bajau people, putu and lato are inseparable. Some of them have moved to Kota Kinabalu, bringing along their tradition, which includes putu and lato. Both staple food of their must in their diet. There is only way to know about putu and lato taste like. It's a made of boiled cassava, meticulously spread into the plastic wrap, roll and steam again. Putu is the best have with a lato as its side. Another one is tompeh, also known as tinompeh, as a food made from cassava, which has diparut and squeezed called panggeh. Will be fried without oil in a frying pan until yellow stain. Tompeh is also often used as food substitute rice eaten with relish dishes like vegetable and fish. It is also popular among ethnic group in Sabah and Sulu.
Calling is a uniquely shaped bread that they usually serve during festivals, weddings and banquets. It tastes better while it's hot. It's not so commonly sold even in Sampona. The key ingredients for recipe of calling are 1 kg of rice flour mixed with 4 eggs, a bit of coconut milk and sugar. Stir the mixture until it becomes gooey batter. Preparing the batter may look easy, but the challenging part is the technique to create the right shape of calling with bare hands, which requires some practices to perfect. Let's see how she does it. Kima basically is a giant clam that is known as keeper of the sea. Why so? Because kima is a natural filter for seawater. When it is eating, the clams will suck up seawater containing plankton and dirt. The seawater then will be filtered and released again after cleaning. Within a day, kima can filter tons of seawater. Besides dirt, clams can also absorb nitrogen and phosphate, which are harmful to the sea. Kima can also be a place of residence for coral reefs. Not only is it a place to live, the clamshell can also be a tool to detect the condition of seawater. If the clamshell is pale, that's the sign of the sea is experiencing a rise in temperature and is polluted. Kima serves as a side dish in the traditional food of Bajau. The clams can be eaten raw after being sliced or cut into smaller pieces and mixed with lime and pepper along with other spices according to taste. In addition, they also dried under the sun and usually fried together with vegetables.
Kilau, also known as traditional Bajau Kilau, says sushi versions of Borneo. The food was dubbed as such because its main ingredient is raw fish, which is safe and clean to consume, as it is mixed with vinegar and lemon that kills the bacteria. Tehe tehe is basically a type of sea urchin, which is a popular seafood among the East Coast Bajau. It is very nutritious and good for health. How to prepare it is very easy, but to boil it first as to soften the spikes, and then remove it, wash off the insides, put the rice in, and then boil it. The shell would be covered with coconut leaf to prevent the rice from spilling out while being cooked for half an hour. After the rice is cooked, cut the tehe tehe and then can be served. It is what is called nasi himpit tehe tehe. It tastes almost like fish egg and it's delicious. Bajau people is known as the sea gypsies, which is not strange at all that their daily food is diving to hunt for seafood. Eventually, they are what they eat.